Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikka-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Teresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretnero.
And I'm Radhika Sikka-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
to sports on 1680 The Crow.
Good afternoon, I'm Spencer Pomeroy, and this is your 110 Sports Update. The Vancouver Canucks open their second-round playoff series tonight against the Edmonton Oilers. The big question still remains who will be starting between the pipes for Vancouver. Canucks head coach Rick Tocchet has remained tight-lipped on naming a starting goaltender since Thatcher Demko went down with an injury after Game 1 of the first round. The Canucks beat the Oilers in all 4 regular season games, but Tocchet says the Oilers' power play could provide some challenges.
Their attack mentality is as good as in the league. They once they sniff something, it's there. Backdoor play, slot play, Bouchard one-timer, that can happen in one play. So you have to be ready for it. You got to pick your poison and give them one of hopefully the least dangerous play.
Puck drop tonight is 7 o'clock from Rogers Arena. The city of Vancouver announced this morning their plans to host a Canucks viewing party this upcoming Sunday. Meanwhile, the city of New Westminster plans to do the same, being the first of the Tri-Cities with an outdoor event. Our reporter Isabella Calisi has the details.
A motion to allow Canucks playoff viewing parties in the city of New Westminster was passed by City Council this past week. Other cities like Burnaby and Port Coquitlam have been holding indoor viewing parties that are more family-oriented. However, New Westminster will be the first of the Tri-Cities to hold an outdoor event for the playoffs. The plan is to show the game at Hayek Square with a connection to the Anvil Centre in the downtown core. This was proposed by New Westminster Councillor Daniel Fontaine with support from other members. The party won't be ready for tonight's game, but Fontaine says that staff is moving quickly to set up the event for Sunday's puck drop. Isabella Calisi, BCIT's The Crow.
In other NHL playoff action, Game 2 for the Florida Panthers and Boston Bruins is tonight in Sunrise, Florida. The Bruins will look to build on their performance from Game 1's 5-1 victory, which saw Surrey's Parker Witherspoon grab an assist on the winning goal. Bruins coach Jim Montgomery still sees room for improvement.
Well, we got to be better with our execution, and then we got to be physical, we got to start on time, and we got to play north. We're worried about ourselves. We know they're going to be better.
Puck drop is 4:30 tonight at Amarant Bank Arena. In more hockey news, the Abbotsford Canucks are hosting Game 3 today with a special celebration to honor the 30th anniversary of the 1994 team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals. The game will begin with a ceremonial puck drop that features past team players Kirk McLean, Dave Babbage, and Jeff Courtnall. Additionally, the first 1,000 fans will receive a free Abbotsford Canucks hat. Puck drop is 7 o'clock. To the hardwood, the New York Knicks will look to take a 2-0 series lead tonight over the Indiana Pacers. Fans will be packing Madison Square Garden in hopes of witnessing some history. Knicks point guard Jalen Brunson will be looking to pass Michael Jordan and Bernard King for consecutive 40-point games in the playoffs. The New Jersey native has 4 consecutive 40-plus point games and has a chance to make it 5 tonight. Tip-off is 5 o'clock from New York. In other NBA news, Denver Nuggets guard Jamal Murray has been fined $100,000, but won't be facing suspension after last night's outburst, which saw Murray throwing objects onto the court during a defeat to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 3 for that series will resume Friday night. To the Diamond, the Blue Jays are currently underway at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia in the second game of a 2-game series against the Phillies. Chris Bassett got the start for the Jays, while 2011 Blue Jays draft pick Aaron Nola got the ball for the Phillies. Former Vancouver Canadian Davis Schneider doubled their lead in the 6th.
Into left field, that's a base hit. Jansen in to score. Bichette up to second, and another hit for Davis Schneider. It is 3-1.
The Blue Jays currently lead the Phillies 5-3 in the 9th. To the pitch, Alphonso Davies and Bayern Munich are at the Santiago Bernabéu today to face Real Madrid in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. Real Madrid almost had a dream start.
What's going on at the other end at the moment? Ball did go out of play.
Carvajal into Vinicius Junior off the post. Great save by Neuer to deny Rodrigo.
Alphonso Davies was subbed on in the 27th minute to replace an injured Serge Gnabry. The score remains 0-0 at the half. The winner will play Borussia Dortmund in the final at Wembley Stadium in London, June 1st. That has been your 110 Sports Update. I'm Spencer Pomeroy. You're listening to BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow. This is 1680 The Crow, and you're listening to our feature presentation.
Red Leaf football was once ingrained in SFU sports culture and a powerhouse for university football within the province. When the program folded, the departure left a sour taste in the mouth of alumni and anyone involved in amateur football within BC. Ryan Bull says time may have passed, but the effects left by the university's decision are still impacting players who were on the roster that folded.
Yes. Bit of an elbow rip.
When SFU's president Joy Johnson announced the folding of SFU's storied football program on April 4th, 2023, the landscape of SFU athletics and BC football changed forever. Met by shock, anger, and utter despair, no one could believe or understand what was taking place. SFU alumni were beside themselves. The program they had worked so hard to be a household name had all but vanished. Current players on the roster were left deserted by the university. The university had just completed upgrades to the facilities for its football team, including new locker rooms and a brand new, state-of-the-art field ready for play. What made the decision worse for players was the timing of the disbandment. By the time the decision was made in April, the recruiting cycle had all but ended for football, leaving players like Drew Lerag angered and not knowing where to go.
The timing of it was pretty unfortunate, just being so late in the year, and especially there weren't a lot of programs still accepting new players, and then it was right before finals. Obviously that had mental impacts, and there's a lot of guys who essentially now had no place to go, who came to SFU just to play football.
Many pundits cited the struggle of the program as of late, but many players, including Lerag, could see things finally starting to change for the team.
We had just moved into a new conference the year before. Things were trending upwards. It wasn't like we won games in that conference, so we proved that we can at least hang with these teams. It's not like we were every single game getting blown out. There were some tough games for sure, but we were still competing. So that was quite frustrating.
The process of how this all happened continued to look worse as time passed by. Administration echoed that their decision was for the players, and they had exhausted all options in keeping the program alive. When information was released saying the contrary, Lerag and other players were incensed.
It was really just the lack of care that the administration showed towards us, where they kept reiterating that this is for your guys' own good, this is for your guys' benefit, there's nowhere for you guys to play, so on and so forth. And then it comes out, that not all the options have been explored to look at other conferences, stuff like that, which is just kind of it felt like the people who were supposed to be supporting us were instead tearing us down. It was just not, it wasn't the same place that, we had committed to sign up. We had signed up and committed to play for the next 3-4 years.
It wasn't just players that had played the previous season that were affected. The university's timing was even more irresponsible, as coaches were still recruiting players to come play that season, as they didn't know the program was about to have the rug pulled out right from under it. Logan Ricks was one of those players.
I committed to SFU just after 2023, just before the program shut down. It was one of my only offers coming out of after a year of playing community ball, so that took away really fast. It kind of left me with no options.
Abandoned by their university, and with it being too late in the recruiting cycle to play university football, Lerag and Ricks turned their attention to McLeod Stadium and took their talents to play in the CJFL for the Langley Rams. The CJFL is junior football. Junior football isn't university football, but it's still filled with excellent talent and is the next best thing. Finally finding a home to play, Ricks could give a sigh of relief.
Luckily, my coach from community was coming to the Rams, so he invited me out and they welcomed me into the fold and played here last year.
Lerag was also very grateful for the opportunity.
So I was, blessed enough to receive the opportunity here with Langley, where I could showcase my talents, my skills.
After all they've been through, both these young men have displayed incredible mental toughness and have continued to persevere despite having their dreams of graduating a red leaf stolen from them. After a tremendous season for Langley last year, Lee Rag has taken his second chance and turned it into another opportunity to play at the university level.
I actually just committed yesterday, the day before, to York University. I'm getting an opportunity to go out east and play for the Lions, which I'm very grateful for.
Ricks isn't so lucky. After year one junior, Ricks will have to stay another year in Langley to get a chance to make his dreams come true.
I'm hoping to make a starting roster this year. Hopefully get some good tape out, send it to some schools, and be able to continue with my youth sports or NCAA or wherever football can take me.
Every story of SFU players who went through this ordeal is different. Despite that, what you'll find when listening to their testimonies is after 1 year away from SFU, they've either found another chance far from home like Lee Rag, or like Ricks, they're still fighting for their next chance to keep their university careers alive. April 4th, 2023 will never be forgotten by these players, but neither will their perseverance, passion, and drive they've shown through this entire process. For BCIT's The Crow, with Nicholas Hauka, I'm Ryan Bowles.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikki-King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika Sikki-King. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.